relevant experience then? Okay, so let's move on to qualifications. Do the attorney's qualifications support the proposal? And really what that means, the role in the proposal. So, let's start with the Kawahara firm. I gave them a 20-point score on that. I thought they did for the most part. I gave them a slightly lower rating than the other firm because based on the meeting I did this weekend, I thought that they were higher, but sticking just with Kawahara now, I realize that you picked up on some information that I missed that would probably at this point make me want to score them higher than the full amount.
Yeah, I think we should be comfortable with what our initial assessments are, considering they're not final until we have complete process. Because that's my gut. You know, maybe when we meet with this person, I'm gonna be like, wow, I went go, so you're wrong on that one. So I would suggest we not change our scores for now, and then we only change them in a final review once the process is over, giving the final score.
It's a guide.
It's a guide.
It's a guide.
So final score.
Well, these scores will be used to make the determination of who we have a verbal interview with, but they're not going to be carried forward and used as a number that's added into some grand total, right? I think we should agree that this is, we're rating them for this step, but that these numbers aren't going to be used later.
The scoring guide is going to be utilized for the subcommittee in order to bring a recommendation to the board on special counsel for the special investigation or for the investigation. So it would, that's what it's for, is a guide to help you make a recommendation to the board.
You're not owning, yeah. All right, so I said I gave them a 20.
I gave them a 20 as well. Again, I was looking for basic qualifications.
On Kawahara?
Yes.
I gave them a 10.
A 10. Okay. Did you want to comment at all on that one?
I just think there isn't enough information, and I don't see the relevant background.
So I was looking for, number one, does this person have a law degree? Number two, are they admitted to the bar? Number three, do they have experience based on what they've presented? And that's what I scored on. As far as, did this person, I wasn't scoring on, for example, one submitted their legal writings. I could always get that later, and then we can find out what he does or doesn't. Maybe he just didn't put them, but I was looking at basics. Is this person a lawyer? They have, where did they graduate from? Is it a reputable school? What are their practice areas? Are they relevant? That's what I use. And with that, I scored a 20 to the other because they met those requirements as well.
So we have a 2 20s and a 10 on that. I'm going to switch over to Roberts. Ms. Vico, do you want to start with this one, with the qualifications for
I
Roberts?
gave them a 20. I think part of the reason is we're talking about professional corporation with, you can see, a great amount of experience in the bond program and auditing. And Mr. Kawahara, although he is saying he's worked in the review of an outside auditing firm at the LA Unified School District, we don't know the extent of that. We don't know exactly what was he doing and how is it relevant to what we want to have happen. And I think maybe that's the problem, is since we can't ask them directly, what I'm seeing is he's an attorney, and he may have had spent some time working with the Los Angeles, but what exactly did he do? What did he accomplish? And did he get into the nuts and bolts of the bond program and the auditing process? So you have a one-person corporation, and then you have a rather large corporation, so qualifications to me are supported by the amount of experience that the Roland Roberts company has, and I gave them a 20.
Ms. Cuevas?
So like I said, I was getting basics, I can see that as a further depth of, once we talk to them, we want to then weigh the relevancy of their experience as something that adds to their scoring for qualification. Again, just to be fair to both of them, I was limited into what extent could I pull that out from paper. So that's the only reason why. But it was clear to me I had a baseline criteria that if it wasn't there, they weren't going to get it for higher, or high score. Noticing that I didn't go up to 25 because to me that would mean they had hit a maximum that I can't determine. So I left room for the fact that there's more points to get there.
It is stated in the application from the Roberts firm that they have represented school districts and advised governing boards in connection with bond construction programs, including public contracting and contracting practices, investigation of complaints related to contracting practices, development of board policy and administrative regulations for the implementation of best contracting practices and internal controls, Prop 39 compliance, and audit issues. So I gave them a 25. It sounds like, although our numbers aren't exactly the same, we did rate them high. So, want to move on to the next one? Sure. Okay, approach. So let's start with the first item in approach. There's 3 sub-items. Attorney demonstrates clear understanding of the nature and extent of services required and can effectively work with the board subcommittee. Well, really, who knows on that one? Can effectively work with the board subcommittee? I don't know how we would assess that. The Roberts firm, or Mr. Ruiz has more experience working with boards, so I'm assuming since he gets hired back that he must be working well with them. But do you find it difficult to address that one, to assess that part of the first item? We're talking about Kawahara, and the item we're looking at is attorney demonstrates clear understanding of the nature and extent of services required and can effectively work with the board subcommittee.
I think Kawahara is, I think that if we look at the time commitment, we haven't gotten to that. I think it's I think they're understating the extent of this process.
So you're thinking they might not have a clear understanding of the nature, the extent of the services?
I gave them 5 because I'm not sure that they do.
And if I may also, the RFQ that went out did not necessarily ask for the approach in our particular process, so that may be something that would be left for an interview process, and it's hard to gather that information from, I guess, see, so I'm going back to the interview.
And we do have a copy of the RFQ if people want to
Yeah, so if you
look
look under the interview of the shortlisted individual, part of that is to describe the approach. Okay,
Where do you see that?
Well, the approach to me was where they itemized all the different areas that we're gonna, they broke down by in their fees. And that, to me, was the approach.
And that can be, but it would be probably further discussed on how they would go about it in the interview. So it is clearly in there, if you want to, I see them. Under number 4, interview of shortlisted individual, number 2.
So I left space for the fact that I can only get so much out of paper, but I did give them both an 8. I think they looked at our RFQ and they both gave some indication of how they would address those. I did, like Ms. Rico, utilize their breakdown of their general task descriptions. I have more comment on how that influenced scoring in other sections, but
But for now, you
For
want to
now,
give
they-
Kawahara.
yeah, because to me, when I look at his D, I see that in comparison to the general tasks, and you're right, it just, I think they both don't understand really what we want until they come and get hired, and then, because I see one that says, here's a basic skeleton based on what you've asked me, that I think of how I approach it, and the other one's like, I'm gonna make space in case you gotta get crazy, but maybe we don't, they don't know, so, because
Well, they
there's
did
like.
want to justify a much larger.
They justify a much larger
Cost.
budget, yes,
Yeah.
and a much larger set of hours, and maybe we don't need all of that. So to me, I think they balance each other out on how much they both really know what we might need, what the exception being, agreeing with Ms. Rico, so that it's clear if we're gonna take a guesstimate, one of them is making space for more comprehensive work. But maybe it's the skeptic in me sees that also as
Well, we'll come back to
more
that when-
potential billable hours too, so.
So we'll come back to that when we come to attorney has a specific outline.
Yeah.
So I agree 8 for Kawahara, this one. And then moving over to Roberts, I also gave him an 8.
I got 5 and 5.
For
So you had double 8. Okay. The specific outline of how the work will be performed? No. Okay. So Kawahara.
When we talk about attorney demonstrates the